Excuse me, I need to do some filming, please. Off you get. Good boy.
Hi there, so yesterday I attended Crufts, and I went there for one reason and one reason only. I love dogs, and I have friends who love the show. But I've also got friends who hate the show, and these friends, I'm talking about people that work with dogs. I've got friends that wouldn't be seen dead there, and I can't agree or disagree with either of them because I've never been. So I thought, I'm going to go, I'm going to make my own mind up. Now the Channel 4 show, we've all seen the Claire Baldwin thing, seems to be pretty good to me. They have some good advice they give good advice on some training, some husbandry, health and advice. They were probably the most sensible advice I heard, or the best coverage of the XL bully ban. But TV is TV, and obviously it has the power to polish an animal welfare turd. So going and seeing for myself was the only option really, because I was so curious, and I love dogs. Now as trade shows go, and it is a trade show, it is huge. It is, I've heard people describe it as an assault on the senses, but I tell you, those people have never been to a drum show. I was surprised how everything was in together and open planned. It's not a criticism, but where the dogs stay and wait for their turns is in the same place as where the stalls are, which is the same place as where they're judged in the early rounds. You just wander from bit to bit. And yes, if you study body language and you're a fan of dogs, you are going to see dogs that aren't comfortable in the situation. But to be honest, you can go down any high street and see that. It's not an exclusive Crufts thing. That's just some owners not being tuned to their dogs or not caring because their experience is more important than their dog's experience. And that is not exclusively a Crufts thing. And I did see some dogs absolutely fine in the environment. I even saw dogs absolutely loving the environment. Now in this video I'm not going to talk about breeding or breed standards. It's a huge subject which, if anyone cares about my opinion on it, I'll do a different video. But here I'm actually looking at the welfare of the dogs that were there from a training point of view. So I popped into the main arena and I enjoyed the agility competition, absolutely really enjoyed that, followed by the medical detection dog presentation, which I really enjoyed that. Both showed dog training at its best, really nice positive dog training, and how that kind of training can see absolutely incredible results, either for competition based or for the medical detection based. Both of them really nice. So then I went to get some lunch, I went and sat down, and that's when I saw some things that not only disappointed me, they made me feel a little bit sick inside. And despite having tickets for the best in show for the rest of the main event, I couldn't stay and I had to leave. The main show floor, where all of the judging apart from the main arena stuff is done, the lower rounds stuff, and we're talking judging for the breeding, the best in show or the best breed, the best, I have no idea what the criteria is, the best ears, I don't care. The dogs have the little arenas, the little things with chairs round, just like any little village dog show you've been to really, and then next to it is an empty one not being used where some people practice training and practice their dogs going round. The behaviour from some trainers, the behaviour from some handlers was abuse on some terms. I can't say it any other way. There was one dog that had won some rosettes, and the club that won wanted a photograph with the rosettes, but this dog couldn't, for some reason, because it wasn't trained to in that environment, couldn't stay still for the photograph. And the overhandling raised every red flag in my body. A few minutes later, I saw, in the same thing, an empty hall, still with people around it, just no judging going on, a dog being practiced running from side to side of the ring. And I don't know what the dog was meant to be doing. I don't know the criteria for training, but the punishment for this dog for, I don't know what it was doing wrong, was pretty severe. Then a handler took over the lead. Thank God, I thought. And then this handler showed the other one that her punishment wasn't severe enough and yelled at this dog no while yanking its neck. And then I looked round and my jaw dropped at everyone else watching who didn't batter an eyelid. I couldn't believe how desensitized to it that everyone seemed. That moment, I packed up my stuff and I just thought, this place isn't me. I need to leave. How is it I can see a Cocker Spaniel beautifully trained to go around a really complex agility course with no faults and all for the fun and seemingly loving it? I see a Labrador trained to detect cancer, all with positive, brilliant training. And on the other hand, in the other side, the show world, a Malinois can't be trained to stand with a 3-second duration in a distracting environment. There is something wrong there. And it's even worse because it can't do it. The handling gets harsher and harsher and harsher until it can do it. That isn't training. That's just shit. And if by some miracle YouTube shows this video to someone and you get to see it, and don't come at me with a positive versus punishment training. I'm not even talking about that. This isn't the place for that argument either, because in either way, if you're going to use either technique, the dog still has to know what it's being punished for. There was one incident where I genuinely couldn't pinpoint what behaviour they were trying to reduce with the punishment. So if I can't tell, how can the dog? In one side of the hall, the Kennel Club displays its young, up-and-coming handlers and trainers, teaching them how to go around an arena with a loose lead. Part of their good citizenship, good loose lead walking, and these young trainers are doing a great job of it, and it was positive and nice. In the same floor, the adults, showing off their best breed dog, have to hang the dog with a tight lead. Why can't one department talk to the other? Why can't you train loose lead walking and the distraction is an arena? Okay, so here's some credit where credit is due. I was watching the best in breed for a certain breed of dog, and there was some dogs there that just looked, there was one particular that looked absolutely bloody terrified of the environment and needed to go. Okay, you know, I've seen that down the pub as well as Crufts, so whatever. All of the other dogs, bar one, were having its head held up with its martingale's half-check bollocks lead, okay? So it's up, constantly, because the dog has to be shown for some reason with its head up like that in a way that, whoa. One of the handlers had a loose lead and was keeping the dog's head up by doing this. The dog was trained, the dog was focused and engaged. Did that win? Bollocks did it win. As you can see, I'm pretty annoyed about it, and you know, I know people will argue about dog welfare and dog training till the end of time. There's going to be pros and cons, and there's going to be different sides of every argument, but that kind of heavy-handedness in training, while the good citizens display are preaching one thing, the Kennel Club are allowing this to go on. Yeah, they should police it. They should police it. I really do think so. And I would have a little think for those organisations that are displaying stuff at Crufts, that until it's policed, do you actually want to be a part of it? Do Channel 4 want to be a part of it? Do the Association of Pet Dog Trainers, who I am a member of, by the way, want to be part of it? Because I tell you, some of the big animal welfare charities were very noticeable by their absence. So let's just be crystal clear. I'm not saying you're bad for enjoying Crufts or even competing in Crufts or attending Crufts. I'm saying there are bad people there. I'm not saying all of them, but the bad really, 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 like in most things, you know, the dickheads ruin it for everybody else. But it's unchecked. If I saw anyone handling a dog like that in any of my group classes, you know, I don't know how I'd react. Honestly, I've never experienced it in any of my group classes. I don't know. These people care so much more about their ribbons than they do about their dogs. Let's take their ribbons away from them if they abuse their dogs. If they overhandle to the point where it's causing discomfort or pain to the dog, make that part of the competition. It will soon go out of it. It's just like breed standards. Let's improve the breed standard of show dog handlers.